Hello everyone and welcome to another episode with Boy and myself, and today obviously I want to show you how to teach your dog to play Frisbee, or more correctly how to catch the Frisbee. Now we're going to do this in a few simple steps that you can follow and teach your dog how to play Frisbee, but just saying it's going to be a lot easier to teach your dog how to play Frisbee if he already knows how to play fetch, because it's the same principle. You're throwing something, your dog meant to go and bring it back to you. The only thing that is different is that we need to teach our dog how to catch the Frisbee in the air. So the way that we're going to do it is we're going to start with just one Frisbee, and the goal of the first step is to just get the dog really interested in the Frisbee and to understand that he's supposed to catch the Frisbee from the rim. Because if you're just going to get your dog, even if he knows how to play fetch, and just going to throw a Frisbee and you're going to expect him to just go and catch it in the air and bring it back to you, it's not going to happen. One is because it's really hard for them to catch it in the air, and second because it's probably going to fall on the ground and he's not going to be sure how to grab it from the floor. So you might see him just like pawing on the Frisbee and get really frustrated because he can't pick it up. So the first thing is to get him really interested in the Frisbee and understanding that he needs to grab it from the rim, just like that. Boy, come on. Good boy. So what I'll do, I really tease the dog with the Frisbee. Come on, what's this? Right, tease him. Don't let him grab him straight away. Tease him. Yeah, good boy. And then once you grab it, play with him, tug a little bit, which is something that the dogs know how to do naturally. Drop. Get him to drop if he knows how to drop. Otherwise, just wait for a second for him to release it, and then do it again. Tease him. Good. Play with him. Tug. We want him to be really interested in the Frisbee before we just try and throw it. Drop. Catch. Come on. Come on. Yes. Good boy. Be careful when you're doing this part, because drop from the dog catching the Frisbee, drop. The Frisbee become really sharp in the rim, so be careful, because if he's pulling really hard, you can cut your fingers. So be gentle with that. Grab it with two hands and make sure that the dog is not just going to pull it. So it might going to take you a little bit longer with your dog. Obviously, Boy is really interested in the Frisbee. He really likes to play Frisbee already, so he's super interested. The second part that we're going to have to do is to teach our dog to come around. Now we can do this part with the Frisbee, or we can just do it with treats. Boy, drop it. Thank you. So we can teach this part with the Frisbee, or we can just, no, drop it. Wait, I know. We can do this part with teaching him with the Frisbee, or we can do it with treats, just like that. Boy, come on. Come around. So we get our dog to come around us and reward him by catching the Frisbee. I'll do it again. Come on. Yes. Good. Drop. Again. I'll lure him around me and to catch. Good. Drop. Once your dog is doing it really fluently, just drop. Just by you moving the Frisbee behind your back, he's going around you. Yes. Drop. You can start to introduce the word come around, or whatever you want to use for your dog to come around. Drop it. Otherwise, you can just use treats and get your dog to follow you. And once he's around you, feed him with the treats. Again, after he's doing it reliably every time, just by you moving the hand, you can start to introduce the word come around, and hopefully your dog will get it really quickly. We have to do this part because when we're going to throw the Frisbee, we want our dog to have a direct line to look at the Frisbee and have a better chance in catching the Frisbee in the air. Otherwise, the dogs will usually stand in front of you. You're going to throw the Frisbee, he's going to have to turn around and then start running after the Frisbee, which will be less likely for him to actually grab the Frisbee. So this was our second step. Now we're going to go into the third step, which will be for the dog to catch the Frisbee in the air. Now at first, we're going to throw the Frisbee really close in the air so the dog has a better chance to catch it. Don't just throw the Frisbee really far and expect the dog to catch it. It's probably not going to work for him. We want our dog to succeed, so we're going to do it in baby steps, just like that. Boy, come around. Good. So just throw it really close. Drop. Good boy. At first, you might, every time that he's coming back to you, you play a little bit of tug, because this is what the dog is really interested in, to play tug at first until he understands that the game is actually just running after the Frisbee and bring it back to you. Boy, come on. Come around. Good. Good boy. Yeah. So he's enjoying this tug. Good boy. Good boy. Drop. And drop. Come around. Good. Once you see that the dog is really catching it, boy, come on. Drop. Down. Once you see the dog is catching it really nicely from a close, you understand that the dog is understanding how to properly grab the Frisbee, so you can start and attempt to throw it further and further away from the dog. If your dog is not catching it straight away from the air, you can start by maybe getting him to come around you, and then roll the Frisbee on the ground, which is generally easier for the dog to catch when you're just rolling it on the ground. Because at first we really want our dog to succeed and enjoy the game. Drop. If your dog is not going to like the game, he's not going to want to play the game. So we need to do everything that we can in order to make it easier for him and be successful in the game. So because when we throw it on the ground and the Frisbee is rolling, he has a better chance to catch it from the rim, which would make him understand that, oh, this is how I'm meant to grab it. Because even with Boy, at first I would throw it, he wouldn't catch it, it will drop on the floor, and then he will just spend a few seconds figuring out how to pick it up, and sometimes he won't pick it up and just like give up completely, and you have to go and pick it up for him. So you have two options here: either to throw it really close and hope that the dog is understanding that he needs to jump and catch it. Otherwise, we can start by rolling it on the ground and then try and throw it really close. Once your dog is really good with catching it from close, we can start by throwing it a little bit further away. Come on. And once the dog is really good at catching it, drop. We might start and have two Frisbees, because if your dog is really used to play tug with it, he might come back to you and try and play tug with you. But if we have two Frisbees, we can do some sort of a trade and just get the dog to run after one Frisbee, fetch, drop, good. And then we're keeping the flow of the game much better for you and for him. Helps him understand, like, okay, this is the game. I'm running after the Frisbee, bring it back, and I get the second reward